Resurrection of F Time, part 2 of the Ultimate Ranking Systems, a unique power scaling ranking systems using the Dragon Ball sticker wafer set and their scoring system. If you've not seen part 1 about Battle of Gods, do check it out, and there is a full movie version where all 9 arcs of the Dragon Ball Super Manga are power scaled. This is by far my best video to date. It's a must watch, especially before Dragon Ball Daima and Sparking Zero come out, and the 10th arc of the Dragon Ball Super Manga, which is on the horizon. Let's go, Resurrection of F, Part 2.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Next up is Resurrection of F. Once again, a movie adaptation. Now, there's no direct adaptation for the manga like there is in the anime. However, there are flashbacks in chapter 29 and 32. There is the Fukkatsu no F manga by Toyotaro that came out with the movie, and the Resurrection of F anime comic. Now, it is stated in a guide that Resurrection of F and Broly anime comics are to be seen as the stand-ins for the direct movie replacements. However, these anime comics basically just tell the versions of the movies. Now, Toyotaro's Fukkatsu no F doesn't really deviate that away from the movie that much either. And when both of these sources are analysed alongside the flashbacks from the official Dragon Ball Super manga, there are no inconsistencies. In fact, as we can see from these flashbacks, you can clearly see that when Frieza gets to Earth, Togoma is AWOL in the flashbacks, and as we see in Fukkatsu no F, Frieza literally obliterates Togoma right at the beginning of the arc. So I believe they're quite consistent with each other. We know it's written by Toyotaro. Sure, it was written before the Dragon Ball Super manga came out, but I believe that Toyotaro will have these narrative threads in mind. Fukkatsu no F only really goes up to where Frieza and Goku are about to transform, but we do get flashbacks in chapter 32 of the Dragon Ball Super manga of how the fight finished, and it finishes exactly like the movie. So again, this is another short arc. Let's get to it. Now, I know there'll be some objections to using Fukkatsu no F, so do let me know your thoughts on that down in the comment section. However, I do believe you should hear me out and see the actual consistencies from what Toyotaro written back then to what we're actually getting now. Chapter 1 and chapter 2 of Fukkatsu no F pretty much expositional. They set the scene for Frieza, talk about his latent potential being enormous and the fact that he hasn't trained. He kills Togoma in one shot in his first form before even training, so Togoma isn't even Frieza punch bag level. He talks about his father King Cold warning him against Majin Buu and Beerus, etc, etc. In chapter 2, it basically talks about Goku and Vegeta when they're sparring with Whis. Interestingly, this early on, the foundations for Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego were laid. Whis teaching them about Ultra Instinct is well known, and even states that Beerus hasn't fully mastered it yet, but he also tells Vegeta that he needs to be more efficient. Fast forward all the way to superhero arc, what is Vegeta now doing after witnessing Jiren? Dare I say it, that's some good writing. But ultimately, Gohan reveals that he's not kept up with his training. We'll see more about that in just a moment, but the depiction of Gohan in the Fukkatsu no F manga is definitely different to what we got with the joke of a Gohan we got in the anime and even the movie. Now, whilst the Fukkatsu no F doesn't particularly show this, in the anime comic we see that Piccolo struggles with Shizami, who's Frieza's strongest henchman. However, Super Saiyan Gohan cooked Shizami. So based on this, we could say that Piccolo, who is likely beyond Cell Games levels, is at 5100. As you can see, he's got a plus because Namekians have a whole host of techniques and abilities. Shizami has 5300 and Gohan is at 5500 as a Super Saiyan. So why has Gohan's power completely fell from even Battle of Gods, considering it's only been a year in the Dragon Ball timeline? Well, Gohan has continued to not train as he answers Roshi, and Krillin seems to consider Buu as their best hope against Frieza, not Gohan. Gohan cannot transform into a Super Saiyan 2 or into his ultimate form at this particular point because he's forsook his training so badly. It is possible Gohan could be using Super Saiyan 2 here, but I think the low ball is at least Super Saiyan. However, he recognises that he doesn't stand a chance against Frieza. Frieza is in his first form. However, I do believe Gohan's anticipating his final form, as he will remember Frieza from Namek, of course. Of course, Tien Shinhan, Krillin and Master Roshi are all there, but they don't do anything of significance. Jacko too, to actually be worth actually scaling. We just know that they're beating up on Frieza's force. Then of course, Goku and Vegeta arrive on Earth after training with Whis on Beerus' planet. Frieza goes into his final form. It's base Goku versus final form Frieza. The fight does seem even for most of it, however it should be noted that Frieza at the end completely tanks a base Goku Kamehameha. Goku states that this isn't all you've got, is it Frieza? Of course Goku knows he can go Super Saiyan and much further than that, but Frieza states yes, he'll use his golden form. So given that Frieza can tank a power amped move like the Kamehameha, it suggests to me that he may actually be stronger, he's just still holding back. However, not enough to compete with a Super Saiyan, I'm guessing. So I'm going to give base Frieza 6,300, and I'm going to give base Goku 6,100. Saiyan Beyond God does not seem to be a thing in the manga, however it's quite obvious that Goku in his base form has gotten a lot stronger than what he was in Battle of Gods. Now this part of the fight isn't in the official Dragon Ball Super Manga or the Fakatsu no F, but in the anime comic it's very much just like the movie. Golden Frieza has the upper hand on Super Saiyan Blue Goku in terms of raw power, however Frieza's only just attained the form, and as you can see on his sticker it's got 8,100. He has 2 minuses because his energy depletion is quite high and he's not fully adept at using his full power. However, he has got a plus because we know Frieza has incredible durability. Of course, his energy completely plummets by the time he faces off against Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, who proves that Frieza has great durability, again by absolutely spit roasting Frieza, beating him to a complete pulp. So as you can see, Goku and Vegeta with their Super Saiyan Blue forms have got 8,000, slightly weaker than Frieza's power of 8,100, but they also do have a minus because they've only also just attained these forms, just learned it to a better degree than Frieza. This fight is a perfect example of a character who has a higher raw power level than their opponent, but some nuances come into play affecting the outcome of the final battle. So to conclude, the winner in terms of pure power reserves is Golden Frieza. However, he's not used to this form, he hasn't really trained long enough in this form and gets beaten in the battle of attrition by Blue Goku and Blue Vegeta. So here comes the bar charts. And these bar charts are a little bit short at the moment, but trust me, they get much longer. Not too much contentious in this arc. You may contend that Saiyan Beyond God is a thing in the manga. I definitely support it in the anime, but I do think it's absent from the manga and I think it's better for it. There is material that could support it, but I don't think it's decisive. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section.